Welcome everyone to Premier League 360. Stephen Loader and my friend from last week, a little ray of sunshine, has done the trick. Sun's out today after some weekend rain and things look like they're clearing up for the next couple of weeks, fingers crossed. Course has obviously been pretty wet and pretty tough going out there, and hasn't reflected in some of the scoring. A couple of the teams, some big scores last week, so yeah, pretty good to see Mr. Sunshine. We'll get into our round 7 results. Whoop, he's taken a tumble already, poor fellow. Our first match was Hybrids versus the Offcuts, and Offcuts got the job done here, 131 to 123. Brad Mason with 37, Craig Bessel 35, Chris Jennings 30, Steve Moss 29. Just too good for the Hybrids. Karen Fitzgerald with 36 and Len Drill 30, and then they just faded away from there, unfortunately, and just couldn't get the job done. So that's their season, unfortunately, done. Next match, Party Turtles versus the Granddads. Turtles, probably a bit of a surprise here in some ways. The sleeping giant might have awoken. 133 to the Granddads 127. Joel Watson with 37 points. Jason Scott 34. Damien Borden 32. Neil Hall, Harley Williams and Andrew Tawada with 30. The Granddads, Brian O'Neill with a hole in one. Good job, Brian. Mark Langenbaker 34. Jim Wagstaff and then 32. And Jack Crawford with 26. Just couldn't quite get it done. No carts on the course, and Jack was off his surfboard again, so had to walk. That probably had a bit of a factor. Reluctant Heroes 146 against the bye, massive score. Mark Scholes 40 points, Jay Bennett 36, Kev Drennan 35 and Steve Jones 35. That's a huge score any time, and especially this time of year, so just kept them in third position on the ladder, so going very nicely. Match 4 was the Cinderella Boys versus Chubbs Peterson, and this one really close. Cinderella Boys is maybe struggling for a bit of depth. Sean Slattery out with a broken arm. Always consistent, but they still got the job done. Glenn Rogers with 36, Simon Putten at 32, Simon Locke 31, Nick Raftelis 30 from 129 total, and Chubbs Peterson, Paul Allen 33, Chad Jones 33, Luke Keogh and Dion Roberts with 30. Just a little bit unlucky there. And our last match, the Fockers and Mixed Bag. Mixed Bag have had a tough season and didn't get going again. Lost 128 to 143. Another good score from the Fockers. Stu Manser, the tree hugger, showing the way with 38. Johnny Jeffries 37, Craig Healy and Travis Clack 34. That's good scoring. Mixed Bag, Steve Morgan getting amongst the runs finally with 35. Pete Sargentson 32, Peter Goff 31 and Pete Holl at 30. Just yeah, unfortunately a bit of a struggle for those boys this season for whatever reason. Over to the ladder, and the Fockers sit on top with 5 wins, 1 loss. Cinderella Boys coming in second, same, and Reluctant Heroes also in third place, just percentage separating those 3 sides. So I think Cinderella Boys and the Fockers play off next week will just about decide top spot, you would think. Granddads had a bit of a stumble and now sort of leave the door pretty well open for Chubbs Peterson, Party Turtles, or even Offcuts, all on 14 points. Could still make it. Hybrids and Mixed Bag obviously out of it now. So yeah, interesting. Granddads just got to keep winning, and same for the other guys. Chubbs Peterson play the Party Turtles next week, so that will pretty much decide who continues on to push for the finals. Our first hero, or our only hero, not our first, has to go to Timmy Leet. played this week before getting on the plane and flying out to the British Open. For anyone who doesn't know, he's over there course marshalling and raking bunkers and being a general helping hand behind the scenes, which will be an awesome experience for him. He's off to the home of golf, St Andrews, after that, hoping to get a game there, or if not, one of the 6 or 7 courses. So the fact that he was man enough to get along and support his team is a good effort. Didn't see him in the top 4, mind you, but anyway, that's okay. Our Villain and Toole get tied in all together. Now, I'm pretty sure I've got a photo of this, and they're from outside the Premier League again, which is a bit of a trend lately, but Brian O'Neill playing in the first group on the 3rd East. Potsy's iron shot into the hole for a hole-in-one, and as the day progressed, hole-in-one, number 1 written under his name. Pretty hard to win the nearest the pin from there. The sheet comes back in. Gary Bennett has got his name on the nearest the pin, followed by Guy Galvin on the same nearest the pin. Now, I know we didn't have 3 holes in one, but boys, probably need to have a read of the thing before you put your name on it. So, Gary, I know your mates like every opportunity to get stuck into you, so we've done it here in the public domain, and yeah, you might be walking to the shop a bit sheepish this week, mate, but good to see you're at the butt of our jokes. Always having a good laugh about it, so good job. I've been through the ladder, and next week's games we have Hybrids versus Granddads. So like I said, that Granddads need to keep winning. Next match is Offcuts versus Reluctant Heroes, and Reluctant Heroes are pretty comfortably in the top 3, just a matter of whether they can push up to that top spot or second, depending on, they will, if they win they'll move up, because Cinderella Boys and the Fockers play each other. I think Granddads will win the first match, Reluctant Heroes will get the next one done. Next one is Party Turtles versus Chubbs Peterson. Well, this is a bit of a mini final, this one. The winner of this one keeps their finals hopes well and truly alive, and I'm probably leaning towards Chubbs Peterson on this one, just because Party Turtles just haven't got off the ground this year for whatever reason. So anyway, what would I know, but that's my tip. Mixed Bag got the bye, so that'll be a nice win for them. Hopefully find a bit more form. And the last one should be a cracker, the Cinderella Boys versus the Fockers. 1 versus 2. I'm going to lean to meet, as much as I've been on the Cinderella Boys all year. I think Sean Slattery's going to prove to be a big out there. And the Fockers, I know there's this stigma hanging over their head about not being big game performers and failing in the finals when it matters. That's been reminded by a few of the players this week before I did the show, but I'm actually going to get on there, not on their bandwagon, but I just think it might be their time to stand up. So we'll see how my prediction goes. That's it for Happy and I. Ben's in having an operation on his hip, and going to have he's paid a search fee to find out whether he's got a heart as well while he's in there. But so yeah, mightn't see him for a couple of weeks. Of course, got a bit of rain over the course of the weekend again, but some sunshine, a bit of wind out today should see, and not much forecast for the next couple of weeks, should hopefully see everything on the improve finally. And don't forget our Odyssey promotion. If you've got an old putter at home, doesn't matter what its state, bring it in. You get $50 off a brand new Odyssey putter. So if you're thinking you want to change your putter over, now's a really good time, because you're basically getting $50 off for almost nothing. Because I think if you're a golfer of any length of time, you'll have an old putter in your cupboard somewhere that you banish. So yeah, thinking to upgrade, good time to do it. Thanks to Amy, who cuts up the show every week. Thanks to everyone for their content. Stu Manser, I think, gave me a little bit for this week. And really good luck to everyone for our coming round. And take it easy.